Things I stopped doing to protect my peace. Let's get straight into this. First thing, masturbating. Now, before. Wait. Hold on. Ripping the band aid right off. How many times after you finish masturbating do you feel guilty afterwards? After a while, it started to feel wrong. To be honest, it always felt wrong. It felt good in the moment, it felt pleasurable in the moment, but something about it just didn't sit right with me anymore. And, I was using it to alleviate things, to fill voids and stuff. So I left it alone. And it's so crazy when you let go of certain bad habits, you realize you don't even need them in the first place. The next thing, scrolling. So I create more than I consume. And I remember maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I was more of a consumer, took a lot of things in, but wasn't really acting on much. I cannot stress it enough how important it is. I'm not saying to not get on anything at all, not to get on Instagram, not to get on TikTok, not to get on Netflix, not to have moments where you just relax and just see what's on the web. But it should not be a habit. I am so serious. Tony Gaskin said it best. You cannot afford to scroll. It's like when you're sitting there just mindlessly scrolling and scrolling and scroll. It just invites so much things in: doubt, depression, anxiety, insecurity. Like, you have to be very intentional about what you watch, intentional about what you see. So that is what my life has been about. When I stopped scrolling, that has been absolutely the best thing that could ever happen to me. The next thing, scrolling. Wait a minute, gossiping. So we all been guilty of gossip, don't get me wrong, and there's times where it's easy to slip into it, but gossiping, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't. We've all done it, but it started making me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, just the feeling of sitting there just talking about somebody or hearing somebody. I remember I had one circumstance where I wouldn't necessarily even participate with it, but I would allow people to say it around me. And it would be things about people I loved, and I said, I got to stop allowing this. And I would shut it down. The reason I was scared to was because I feared rejection. Gossiping is not productive at all. And, sometimes, and I'm really proud of myself for, speaking up and saying, listen, I don't want to hear this. Like, it's not productive. Now we venting and we're talking about something that's bothering you. I don't mind that. But sitting there just bashing somebody, I don't want to be a part of those conversations. Next thing, drinking. I stopped drinking. I will never forget how crazy it was when, out of nowhere, I wasn't an avid drinker. But how weird it was when I just no longer wanted to drink. Drinking didn't feel right no more. And I never liked how it tasted anyway. But I would just do it because you look forward to that little woozy feeling, the relaxation, and it was just common. It was common in my family, common with my friendship. Like, we was normal to have you a little drink. But I'll never forget when I just didn't want it no more. I just didn't want to drink. The last drink I had was a Mai Tai. I was out with my aunt and my cousins. And, I was drinking it, and the contents of that liquor, when it went into my system, something felt off. It felt like a spiritual subtraction, a spiritual, and that's how all these things I just listed felt. It felt spiritually limiting, like I was losing something by doing it. So I just stopped. It no longer felt comfortable to me anymore to continue doing it. Same with smoking. The next habit I quit. I stopped smoking. I'm going to tell you guys, drinking, smoking, these are the most obvious ones. We know we continue to drink. We mess our liver up. We can mess our brain up. We can mess all of our functioning up. And I'm going to be honest, I just don't like depending on things. Like, I don't like depending on things to keep me happy. So my goal is to kind of get rid of a lot of bad habits, but sometimes it takes time. I don't want y'all to think, well, dang, how she do it? Nah, it took time. It took a lot of time, especially masturbation. That was hard. That was the hardest one. But drinking and smoking, those were the easiest ones to let go of. It just didn't feel right to sit up there and grab a blunt, put it to my lips, inhale, and it messed with my chest anyway. Like, it's so crazy because I would notice that was bad for me, but I still did it. But like, I would smoke, and then my chest would start hurting. It's like, Mahogany, what are you doing this for? I just had one moment. I was like, Mahogany, what are you doing? Let this stuff go. The next, oh, I'm sorry, guys. The next thing that I let go of was keeping my, at night, right? Oh, I'm sorry. At night, I don't like to have my TV in my room. Now, now that I live on my own, I keep my TV out in my living room. I don't put my TV in my room, and I would always. There's times where just for me to go to bed, I would listen to stuff, but I would keep my TV on, would play it all night, and I don't. That's not good. And I would turn it off in the middle of the night when I was asleep already, because sometimes the TV would just help me go to sleep because my mind would be racing and racing and racing and racing. But what I've learned and what I found solace in at night, just letting those thoughts happen, talking it out, taking that time, to even if it's hard, just sitting in the thoughts, journaling. Um, that helps me instead of just keeping the TV on at night, which is not productive at all. That interferes with your sleeping patterns, your sleeping schedule. So I've learned to just literally not have my TV, not have my TV in my room, or if you have to have your TV in your room, keep it off at night and just use that time to just sit with yourself and relax. I wanted to learn how to fall asleep without using TV to assist. Taking shortcuts. It was like the little things. Like, for example, I used to skip the train. I used to not pay for the train. And then I started feeling like, guilty for doing that. Or, even like you might go to a store and you might leave the cart out and, you return stuff but don't put the stuff back or give it to the clerk. You just leave it in the middle of the aisle. It was little things like that that I started to pay attention to, and I started to feel little convictions for, that I said, okay, let me stop doing this. Like, let me stop trying to get over these smallest and smallest of things. Um, so yeah, guys, these are the things that I stopped doing to protect my peace, and I still got a long, long way to go. But I hope that this helps you guys, and I hope you guys make an effort to also do some things for yourself. Give up some habits. It's really hard, but it takes a step at a time. So, for example, drinking and smoking was the first thing I tackled. Then I tackled masturbation. No, it was actually creating more than I consumed was the first thing. Then it was drinking. No, wait a minute. It was drinking, smoking, creating more than I consumed, being more productive, like making use of my talents and abilities, being more creative. Then it was drinking and smoking. Then it was masturbation. Then it was all the other things. So it took time. And as I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I gave those things up. Like I never thought I could like leave masturbation alone or leave those other things alone. But I did it. So shoot, it's your girl Hago signing out.